When I tell you the blend of this cigar, you're going to know it's a shade to be reckoned with. I'm Bob Cigar Guy. This is Traveler's Rest, South Carolina, in the Smoke Easy Studios, where I get to smoke cigars and talk to my friends. Hello, friend. But this is the Cao Fasa Sombra. Look at that thing right there, right there, right there. I already cut it because I want to smoke it, but I actually left a little bit on there. But let's get to this blend real fast, right? That wrapper's Ecuadorian shade. The binder is Cameroon. All right. Fillers Dominican Piloto Cubano. Okay. Nicaraguan Jalapa, Nicaraguan Esteli, and Nicaraguan Condega. Now that does not sound like an easy breezy lemon squeezy kind of thing. That sounds like it's got some beef to it. It's got some ruggedness to it. It's got a little rump to it. And I am looking forward to putting the fire to it and finding out. I'm betting on this being a shade plus. I'm also expecting it to be delicious because this is the third of the Cao Fasa, the Fasa Sol and the Fasa Noche. Love them both. Love how the bands, you can slide the foot band all the way up to the regular band, and they actually meet. The die cuts meet. Also the regular band, the traditional band actually has a cutout under CAO, which is like a crescent moon, and you can actually see the tobacco. And I love that. I think that's just a little extra plus they put into it, and I love it. All right, a little tight. It's a little bit like a belt after Thanksgiving. It's a little bit tight, but look at that big cut. That big embellishment right there. That's nice, right? But yeah, the draw is a little on the snug side right now. But let's give it a minute. Mm. It is tasty. It is coming off a little sweet right now, but all right, let's face it. When you have a cigar this big and you go to put it in a bunch to put it in the mold, or before you do that, when you lay your leaves in your bunch, you're going to have little tips, right? You're going to rip the tips off both ends because you don't need all of it. And so some of those tips you're going to take in salt. You're going to front load, put it here, or back load, put it here, or front load, back load, one of the two. And you can change the beginning and the end of your cigar. Now, back here, it usually doesn't make as much of a difference because most people don't smoke past the pan. But up here, you can really either punch it up first, or you can smooth it out a little bit, and you can give them a transition. Whoever's smoking a transition, the American palate likes transitions. We as Americans like a little extra change in our cigar. We like a little bit. Now, maybe you don't. Maybe I'm not going to speak for you. I'm just speaking in generalities of what it is traditionally said about the palate of American cigar smokers. And I know I enjoy transitions, as long as it makes sense. I don't want something to be super sweet, then all of a sudden it just slams to black pepper, then it slams to leathers, and then it slams back to super sweet, then it goes to espresso, and then it's grassy notes, right? I wanted to make sense. I wanted to slowly walk me into different flavors or different expressions of the flavors that are in the cigar. Because it's amazing. It's just a bunch of leaves from one plant, different varieties, but it's all tobacco. There's no additives to this. There's no extra anything into it. There's not a slice of corn in there. There's not a piece of tomato in there to make the flavors change in different spots. It's all tobacco. It's all natural. It's lovingly grown and aged. Oh, man. All right. It's the sweetness is more pronounced than I thought it would be. Now we're only a little bit in. I just tapped it off because it looked like that ash was going to fall, and I've got this nice little mixing board down here. And if I put ash on this, I will be mad at myself. And Chief left something to fuss at me about, and I don't want that. There's an overarching sweetness. There is. And when I say sweetness, I'm not talking about infused sweetness. I'm talking about the tobacco has been aged to where the starches have been coaxed, massaged, and lovingly transitioned into sugars. That's what the fermentation process in the pilon does. And the way you deal with your fermentation in your pilon is going to change the way that the flavors present themselves on your palate. What? There's a hint of pepper. There's a hint of leathers. Maybe some dark cocoa. There's that sweetness. That's you can't get away from that sweetness. It's very nice, sweet, and sweet. Okay, sweet could be tons of things. It could be sugar. It could be cotton candy. It could be caramel. It could be all sorts of stuff. What am I talking about when I say sweet? In this interpretation, sweet would be when you have a very good steak, medium rare or rare, and it's a good cut of beef that's been well bred, well aged, well matured, well cooked. And you get that sweetness in the flavors. There's a substantiability to it. It's got some strength to it, but it is very laid back. I will still call it a shade plus, but just barely. I might be calling it a shade plus just barely because I don't want to say it's not a shade plus because I said it was going to be a shade plus, and yeah, it in the burn, it's nice. That mascara line is tight and tiny. When I magnify it, it's not, but when back here, it's nice. Mm. The draw has opened up, still a little on the snug side, but it is not tight. It is loosened up, and I'm glad about that because this is 6 inches of cigar, and I don't want to have to fight it all the way back. And I'm not. I'm actually enjoying the experience. I love the finish. I love the finish. The finish is great because that sweetness just tastes good. In between puffs. Fantastic. Man, it sucks it's the only one I got. Yeah. Dang it. Let me get off this dang computer. Pay attention to cigar. If I smoke it back farther and I find that it turns into something funky or it's got a major transition in it, I will come back on the video and I'll talk about it. But if not, I don't want to waste your time. And I think this deserves some attention. I think it deserves your attention. If you like what I'm talking about, I think you ought to go out and get you some. That's what I think. It doesn't matter what I think. It matters what you think. Cigar smoking is your moment, your money, your time, your palate, your experience. Make it yours the way you want it to be. Don't anybody tell you otherwise. I'll see you later. I love you. I do. Later, Tater.